Well, Michael, thanks for joining us here at National Parents Organization, and you are the CEO of, is it Fayr?
Yeah, Fayr. Yeah.
And so, tell us a little bit about Fayr and how it came about to be, and how you got involved with it.
Yeah, sure. Well, Fayr, it's interesting. Okay, so it's also an acronym. It stands for Family Advocacy. It's Your Responsibility, FAYR. But I think most people's biggest problem with family law is that everyone feels things aren't fair, and I wanted to focus on really trying to bring clarity, trying to bring transparency to an area that obviously becomes it's one of the most difficult thing that anyone goes through, because let's face it, there's no other area of life that you can be in a civil suit with somebody and have to go on communicating with that person for years to come. And given that it's a matter of the heart, obviously, I can't tell you how the statistics really show that these family law cases are the thing that the number one reason people drop into the poverty rates. It's the number one reason for a lot of negative things that happen to children. So honestly, Fayr is just my sincere effort in trying to bring at least better communication, because I feel like a lot of misunderstandings and disagreements are really at the center of why these things escalate unnecessarily.
So, tell us. So, Fayr is a co-parenting application here,
Mm.
and I'm going to bring it up on the screen. And let's see here. We'll bring that up. So here's the website. And how do parents use a co-parenting website? What's the process look like?
Well, this is our website. It's going to give you information about what the app is about, and of course, it'll invite you to go create an account. We are a subscription app, and the reason we charge subscription is because we do not sell anybody's user data. In the world of apps, just so you're aware, I mean, if they're not selling you a product, you are the product, and we don't do that. So it comes out to $7.99 a month, or $79 for the year, or $199 for 3 years. With the discount code I'll give you guys.
But now, does each parent pay for that subscription, or is one subscription cover both parents?
Each parent, it pays for. A lot of people are using it on their own, but yeah, it's per person, and yeah, I mean, it really focuses on 4 key areas, and that they were the areas that were major pain points in my own situation, which was the co-parenting calendar. So there you go, the shared calendar, the expense tracker, the admissible messaging. Well, there's messaging right there. The thing about messaging is that nothing can be manipulated. There's a lot of things you can't go deleting messages like you could on iOS, and generally, at least where I live in Florida, text messages are not admissible in court, only emails are. So with Fayr, you have the ease of text messaging with all of the admissibility of emails.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah. And then you move on to the expense tracker. This just allows parents to easily keep track of receipts. I mean, you can log it, track it, and forget it. So your receipts will all be there. It has to be categorized as one of the involuntary expenses of medical, uncovered medical, extracurricular, dental, school, personal, this sort of thing. So as long as it meets one of those criteria, then it goes in as a matter of record. You can look at since like inception, year to date, any particular month. It really is flexible. You can pull all of this data and easily see it, and it really keeps things just clear, because most of the time both parties are convinced that the other one owes them money, right? Like, we're very good about keeping a mental inventory of our own contributions, but seldomly do we really acknowledge the contributions made by our co-parent.
Yeah, so if you need to go to court on this, is it easy to just print a report out?
Oh yeah, I mean, you can export so easily. It's just a couple clicks, and you can put in there the date range that you want it exported, and it comes out in a PDF. All the notes back and forth. I mean, it's so hard to recreate an audit trail of information, 6 months, 2 years after the fact. Well, this is going to keep everything very concise, very clean, and it's there. I mean, a paralegal will charge you between $90 to $120 an hour to put together a court-ready document like this, and it'll be. I mean, you're saving yourself thousands of dollars just by using Fayr.
And I think it's important to note, if the other parent knows that this is all being tracked, that there's much less chance that they can manipulate the truth, right? Because it's very hard when, all this data is available to say, no, it wasn't this. And, well, here's a picture of the receipt and the day. And, so I think it keeps accountability up, which is good, and cases like
Yeah,
that.
ideally we want to avoid that kind of escalation going to court. I mean, we don't want to have these motions. And you're right. What you said is exactly right. Again, it's misunderstandings and disagreements that escalate. Well, this really clears the air on a lot of misunderstandings or just bad memories or just like the geo check-in feature, for example. This one was the impetus for me creating the app. If you want to jump down to that next feature that we have there, this geo check-in, this was my personal experience. We had a co-parenting schedule. My co-parent lived 43 miles away from me, and so one Saturday I go down there within this 2-hour window that I'm ordered by the judge to drop the children off. So I drive 43 miles down there. And upon arriving, nobody's there. I'm sitting there waiting. Nobody's responding to text messages, phone calls. Nobody's answering the door. And at a certain point, I said, okay, after 30 minutes, I said, oh, for the heck with this, I'm going home. So I drive 43 miles back home. And upon arriving home, I get a call from my attorney who had just been contacted by her attorney saying I'm in violation of this court order. And so just by bickering back and forth, I mean, I ended up paying $800 that day in legal fees. But fortunately, I had taken the turnpike and I exited the toll, and I was able to pull my records from that toll road, and I was able to show that yes, I was near it. But I still paid $800 that day, even though I did nothing wrong. Well, with this feature, I could go there, and unlike Facebook's check-in feature, where you could literally check yourself in at the Eiffel Tower right now, you could be anywhere on the planet. With this, there's no manipulating it. This is where you are. It's time, date, and stamped. You can take a photo, upload the photo. It's time, date, and stamped too, and your co-parent gets an instant notification, push notification to their phone, and that would have been it. She would have seen it. There's no reason to call a lawyer. I would have saved $800 that one day, and that's the kind of savings that you can't really account for when you're using a co-parenting app. You're saving money without even knowing it.
Yeah, and so I think it's important too. There's a lot of benefits to a co-parenting app, but when you do start to use the app, I think that because I've used a co-parenting app for several years now, there is kind of a shift in how you communicate with the other parent, right? Because you no longer just go and firing off an email. I know a lot of times emails go back and forth when people are upset and things like that. But I think this tries to take the focus off of those direct email communication, right? And tries to put it in another form where you don't have to, put those emotions into it. And also, like you had mentioned, save that data, in case you need it for legal reasons.
Yeah. And I mean, ideally we don't, it'd just be nice to just communicate well, but too often, like on these little issues of where we are and things like this, the more you can do just a matter of fact within the app, it avoids the need to actually communicate through either messaging or verbally. Verbally is like the number one. If you start having a verbal conversation, the chances of just the other person being ticked off by the tone of your voice or whatever, it escalates things. Well, this just keeps things very matter of fact, very clean, and you avoid those sort of interactions that often escalate.
Oh, fantastic! And so, how old is the website or the app? And do you exclusively do it on the phone, or is it also on the web, or how do you interact with it?
Well, we are unlike one of our major competitors who actually had come out way before the App Store ever launched, which I had used also. Which look, using anything is better than using nothing. But I wanted to create a more post-smartphone era product, so it's coded with the absolute latest technology. In fact, these exact same people who coded Citibank's app coded Fayr. So it really is the top of the line product, which is why I actually got picked up by Apple's tech series, Planet of the Apps, which we can maybe discuss later. But it truly is an innovative app coded with the best technologies available, and it's optimized international numbers for tablet, iPad, obviously iOS and Android. So you can access it if you have an app on the you can have apps on your computer and access it, but we are not a web-based product. App-based is kind of better in a lot of ways, because with web-based, if you don't log in, for example, one of our competitors, Talking Parents, like you'll have to log in, put in your login credentials, and then you can see your messages. You don't get instant push notifications.
So on the app, is it iOS and Android, or just iOS?
No, it's iOS and Android, yeah, and tablet and iPad, yeah, all of that.
Fantastic! So compatibility full across the board, then.
Yeah, we're optimized on many different. I mean, in the world of apps, like every time a new phone comes out, you've got to get optimized for that thing. And so, yeah, we're optimized across the board on all sorts of platforms. It's totally available if you got a mobile device.
So tell me, if you have two parents and you have one parent that really wants to use this and the other
Hmm.
parent just, wants to email, then, what do you do about that? Or
Well,
is the app designed so only one parent has to use it?
well, one absolutely, one can totally use it. And look, this is what I get asked this question a lot because it happens all the time. It's always that one parent is benefiting from things being opaque, the lack of transparency. There's one that's always sort of benefiting, and so one wants the transparency, right? Well, all I can tell you people is like, don't get too frustrated because listen, uh, judges will always assume that person who's making every effort to communicate better, you're going to be assumed to be a more responsible parent. And a lot of parents lose cases that's not because they're bad parents, they're just bad documenters. So Fayr just really makes it a whole lot more easy to document as life is happening in real time. And so I would just encourage you, don't get discouraged if you're keeping track of things. In the event of an escalation, you're well organized and you're making every effort. In fact, Fayr, as you use the app, and every time if you've sent an invite to your co-parent, whenever you do, periodically when you do input another expense, we'll send them a push notification to their iOS messaging or Android messaging. And it'll say, hey, your co-parent just logged a new expense, or set a time, set a date, come join the conversation, come join the collaborative communication. So we'll continue to prod them to join the conversation so you're looking like you are putting your best foot forward. And that goes a long way with judges. It really, really does.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about the legal side of this, because
Mhm.
you do have a section on the site that talks about legal professionals. So,
Mhm.
how would someone's lawyer interact with the information or the data or the app, and what sort of features makes it easy for them, and will that save parents money in the long run in legal fees?
Oh, absolutely. And I used to think that lawyers would be like totally adverse to promoting because it does definitely cut down on their billable hour. But lawyers surprisingly tell me, listen, these people are suffering so bad. A lot of good lawyers will say, we just want to give them something that benefits them because, these people really struggle trying to recreate that audit trail and trying to stay well documented. And so, like, again, a lot of lawyers lose cases because their clients just aren't documented right. So they're encouraging it. If they want to interact with it, we do have a professional portal. So when you go to the site, you'll be able to set up their professional portal. So either a judge, a guardian, a therapist, a lawyer, whatever, can you have to send them an invite, or no, they can send you an invite. You can accept the invite, but both parties have to accept. So if your co-parent's lawyer is on, if there's an order for the lawyers to be able to track this, that way you're not in like if they're on. So it's not like you can just be spied on without your knowledge. You'll know they're linked to the account and that they're able to see it. That's what I'm saying.
And what are judges saying about this sort of thing? Are you finding that judges are ordering this, or are you finding this, being put into parenting plans, that sort of thing?
Oh, big time. That is our bread and butter. We're almost exclusively a B2B, marketing machine. That's all we do is work with judiciaries because, they get it. These judges, at least where we live around here in Southeast Florida, they have 4,000 to 5,000 cases on their docket. And a lot of these parents keep coming back, and it's a whole lot of he said, she said versions of facts. And judges, they really struggle. They go home at the end of the day and they hope they made the right decisions. And so the more informed they can be, the more they encourage it. So we have a lot of judges that time and time again, they mandate the usage of Fayr from the bench every day. Lots of them.
Wow, fantastic. So, anything that we forgot to talk about with the app, or anything else you want to say besides the offer that you're going to give us for National Parents Organization members?
Well, no, I think we pretty much covered it. We covered the basis of what its functions are, and it's going to keep getting better. I encourage people all the time to please email me directly because, again, I'm one person from one set of life experiences, and I know that that other people have a lot of experience themselves. And so, if there's something that you feel could be better, could be tweaked, could be added, like, I'm all ears. And my email is michael@fayr.com, and I do take that to heart. Like I will have my team, build it out if it's something that really adds value to the app.
And tell us, you have a special offer for National Parents Organization members. What's that?
Yeah, the special offer is NPO_Fayr. So yeah, NPO_FAYR. And that will get you a 20% discount on any of our subscriptions. And yeah, we'll be happy to have you as Fayr users. We are, I mean, for subscription apps, we are the most competitive priced, and honestly, we really have the best app.
That's fantastic. And is that 20% for the year or for the life of the subscription?
For life.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, great. Anything else you wanted to talk about tonight, or?
Well, yeah. The other thing is, if you're a legal professional, mediator, anybody, like, you can go to our legal professionals page on our website, and you can sign up for your own code that you can extend to your clients. So if you go there, if you go there and go all the way to the bottom, you'll see where there's I know it's pretty far down there, but there's a sign up right down there. There it is. So sign up to get a discount for your clients, and we'll create your own code for you.
And the legal portal makes it easy for the lawyers to see all their different clients. They don't have multiple logins, right? They just
no. It's super easy. Yeah, that is web-based. So they'll just log in, and because it's not something they really need push notifications for. So they can log in and they can everything. They'll see the co-parenting calendar, the geo check-ins. They'll see expenses and receipts. And if you want to share the private journal, there's a private journal and a file vault. The file vault is shared. The private journal you have to share personally.
Fantastic. Well, Michael, thank you for joining the National Parents Organization here and extending that special discount off to the members. We really appreciate that. And we wish you luck as you develop the app and help families out all across the country.
Well, Chris, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much, Michael. We'll talk to you again.
Take care.